So again, it's a shock to me, and I'm going to talk about this for a while. We're doing a different theme this month about baseball players not in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, at one point, this guy was the most recognized black athlete of the early 1970s, one of the most dominant pitchers in the American League for most of the decade until he moved to San Francisco and dominated there. Was on Time magazine and myriad other publications. He was bigger than the game for a while, and the name was so much household as that it drew attention to another guy called Vida. They forgot about Vida Pinson. So he had two Vidas, and basically Vida Pinson said, the best part of my career now was knowing that Vida Blue was in the league, because if he mentioned him, they'll mention me. So today we're going to be talking about the strange case of why this guy's not in the Hall of Fame. I think it's because of the Pittsburgh drug trials. Vida Blue. Now, Vida Rochelle Blue passed away in 2023 after a long illness. A lot of people say it was cancer related. Was born in Mansfield, Louisiana, a very beautiful community. Left-handed pitcher, MLB from 69 to 86, mostly as a member of the A's dynasty that won three consecutive World Series titles from 72 to 74. He won the AL Cy Young Award and MVP in 1971. Had a bad 72 sophomore jinx, but came on for the rest of his career. A six-time All-Star, Blue was only first of only five pitchers in Major League history to start the All-Star game for both the American League 71 and the classic 1978 All-Star game for the National League. Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, former Blue Jay as well, like Roger, Roy Halladay, and Max Scherzer are the others. During his 17-year career, he pitched for the Oakland Athletics from the start of the dynasty to the deep end of the dynasty in 77, the Giants 78 to 81 and 85 86, and for the Kansas City Royals in 82 and 83. I saw him the game of the week in Toronto in person before he was released by the Royals in 83. I figured that was last his career, but he made a comeback with the Giants, and I was glad to see it. Now, born and raised in Mansfield in DeSoto Parish, Louisiana, he was the oldest of six children, born to Vida Blue Sr., a laborer in an iron foundry, and his wife, Sally. He attended DeSoto High School in Mansfield. He pitched for the baseball team and quarterbacked the football team. In his senior year of football, he threw for 3,400 yards and completed 35 touchdown passes while rushing for 1,600 yards. In his senior year of baseball, he threw a no-hitter with 21 strikeouts in just 7 innings pitched. Now, Blue was a power pitcher who worked fast and attacked the strike zone. He threw an occasional curveball to keep hitters off balance and an above-average changeup, but his signature pitch was a fastball, which he threw consistently at 94 miles per hour. Now, the modern pitchers like Marcus Stroman, who have the Vida Blue style, maybe not be as talented, but that's what you call the quick pitcher with the heavy strike zone. He occasionally would reach 100 miles an hour, where only Nolan Ryan and a handful of others could do that. In a Nair James Guide to Pitchers, all-time hits leader Pete Rose said that Blue threw as hard as anyone he'd ever faced. And of course, that was in the 72 World Series. Baseball historian Bill James cited Blue as the hardest throwing lefty and the second hardest thrower of his era behind only Nolan Ryan. The then Kansas City Athletics selected Blue in the second round of the 67 MLB draft. Though he was recruited to play college football for Notre Dame, Purdue, and the University of Houston, he chose to sign with the Athletics for $12,500 per year to help support his family after his father's death. He began the 69 season with the Birmingham A's, but was promoted to make his Major League debut on July 20th. In 1970, after spending the season in the minor leagues with the Midwest League Single A Burlington Bees and the Iowa Oaks of the AA, Blue was called up in September, making 2 starts. On September 11, he shut out the KC Royals 3-0, giving him up only 1 hit to Pat Kelly in the 8th inning. 10 days later, he no-hit the defending and eventual repeat American League West champion, Minnesota Twins, 6-0 at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, the lone base run coming on Harlem Killerbrews' 4th-inning walk. At the time, he was the 4th youngest pitcher to throw a no-hitter, got a lot of publicity in the Sporting News, Sports Illustrated, New York Times, every myriad, and was called as part of the young black athlete movement of the early 1970s. Now, Blue had a 24-8 record in 71, and of course, the top 72 card, one of the first one I got as a collector. This was an AL leading 182 ERA and 8 shutouts, and he struck out 301 batters, winning both the Cy Young and MVP for AL. He also led the American League in complete games with 24, shutouts with 8, and earned run average of 182. That season, the Athletics won the American League West title for the franchise's first postseason berth since the Philadelphia Athletics 40 years before. He got off to a terrific start, going 10-1 when he linked up with Boston's Sonny Siebert, who was 8-0 in a dramatic May matchup in Boston. The game was won by Siebert and the Red Sox 4-3 and remains what is considered the most dramatic games in Fenway Park history. At the time, he was the youngest American League player to win the MVP award in the 20th century. He was a starting pitcher for the AL in the 71 All-Star game, and he that year became the only player ever to be a starting pitcher in a league opener against the Senators, the All-Star game, and the playoff opener against the Orioles, which lost 3 straight. Now in 71, again, Blue was on the covers of Sports Illustrated and Time. In 72, his success in baseball led Blue to a small role in the Jim Brown joint Black Gun. Now after Blue's breakthrough season 71, he and Athletics owner Charlie Finley clashed over his salary. Blue had earned $14,071, sought $92,500. He held out, missing much of the year before Blue and Finley settled at $63,000. Blue ended up with a 6-10 record in spite of a 2.80 ERA in 72, and he did not make the Athletics postseason starting rotation, instead pitching many in relief. Against the Reds in the 72 World Series, he played 4 times, including a save in Game 1, a blown save in Game 4, and a loss in a spot start in Game 6. Most of these losses weren't pretty well his fault because, there was some difficulty going on. He was still trying to find his way in that big 72 season. Now he went 29-73, 17-5 74, and 22-11 75 as an integral member of the Athletics' 5 straight AL West Division titles from 71 to 75, and 3 consecutive world titles from 72 to 74. Perhaps his finest postseason performances were 4 innings of shutout relief work against the Tigers, the same Game 5 of the 72 ALCS, and a complete Game 1-0 shutout against the Orioles in Game 3 of the 74 ALCS. On September 28, 75, Blue, Glenn Abbott, Paul Lindblad, and Rollie Fingers combined to no-hit the California Angels 5-0. So, still having trouble with Finley. After an 18-13 season with a 2.35 ERA in 76, where most of his dynasty teammates were gone, he told reporters, one of the best lines ever, "I hope the next breath Charlie Finley takes will be his last. I hope he falls flat in his face and dies of polio." In June 76, Baseball Commissioner Bowie Kuhn vetoed an attempt by Finley to sell Blue's contract to the Yankees, and did the same thing on January 30th, 78, to a trade announced by the Reds at the winter meetings on December 9th, 77. That would have had Blue sent to Cincinnati for Dave Revering at $1.75 million. In both instances, Kuhn said the trades would be bad for baseball because they would benefit already powerful teams without making them give up any significant talent in return. At the end of the 76 season, nearly entire A's roster of star players from Oakland's championship teams left with baseball's due free agency or were traded off by Finley, leaving Blue, who was still under contract at Oakland, to mentor a new team of primarily rookies and no-names and other young players. Alvin Dark, who managed Blue in 74 and 75, was surprised that Blue had remained with the team, writing that he must have gotten the contract concessions he wanted. In the 77 campaign, Blue went 14-19 with a 3.83 ERA, leading the AL in both hits and earned runs surrendered. Now, I saw him pitch that year against Toronto, and just the fire wasn't there. I think he was just playing out the string. Now, he eventually, Athletics traded Blue to the Giants in March 78 for, get this, almost half a team. Gary Thomason, Gary Alexander, Dave Haverlo, John Henry Johnson, Phil Huffman, Alan Wirtz, and $300,000. Mario Guerrero was eventually sent to the Athletics as the player to meeting him later to complete the transaction. Now in 78, a comeback year, he went 18-10 with a 2.79 ERA as he led the Giants to 89 wins and a third-place finish in the National League West, which was won by the Dodgers. He started for the NL in the 78 All-Star Game. You can see it on YouTube, and it won the Sporting News National League Pitcher of the Year award as well. Now he went 14-14 with a career worst 5.01 ERA as a full-time starter in 79, 14-10 with a 2.97 ERA in 1980, and 8-6 with a 2.45 ERA. Once more in 81, which was the strike-interrupted season. Now in 82, the Giants traded Blue to Kansas City Royals for Atlee Hammaker, Craig Chamberlain, Rennie Martin, and Brad Wellman on March 30th, 82. There he went 13-2 with a 3.78 ERA. He had 21 starts and 31 appearances. In 83, Blue went 0-5 with a 6.01 ERA in 19 appearances, 13 of them starts. Blue was released mid-season, again a couple of weeks after I saw him in Toronto during the Cosell Game of the Week on August 6, 83. Now, after 83, Blue and his former teammates Willie Wilson, Jerry Martin, and Willie Aikens pled guilty to attempting to purchase cocaine. He was sentenced to 3 months in prison and was suspended for the 84 season. Now, back to baseball in April 85, he returned as a free agent to the Giants on a one-year deal going 8-8 with a 4.47 ERA in 33 appearances, including 20 starts. The rest in middle inning and mop-up relief. In 85, he also testified in the Pittsburgh drug trials as part of his suspension deal. Now, when Blue re-signed on another one-year deal in 86 with the Giants, he finished career going 10-10 with a 3.27 ERA in 28 starts at the age of 36. On April 20th, he won his 200th career MLB game. Blue eventually signed with the Athletics for the 87 season, but announced his retirement in February 87. Now, after baseball, Blue was a baseball analyst for NBC Sports Bay Area, the TV home of the San Francisco Giants. Now, his substance abuse problems continued to haunt him after his playing career, as he faced multiple DUI charges in 2005. He acknowledged that the trials may have influenced him being left off the Hall of Fame ballot after 1 year, stating, "I had some issues in my life that might have had a tendency to sway voting. There are some guys in the Hall of Fame who don't have halos." Now, in 71, Blue accompanied Bob Hope on the U.S. Christmas tour of Vietnam, which drew a lot of interest as well, and he visited other military installations. Blue has been very active in charities, working for numerous charitable causes, including Selfway All-Star Challenge Sports, automobile donations, celebrity golf tournaments, and charities for children. Blue was also active promoting baseball in the beautiful country of Costa Rica. Now, in September 89, he married Peggy Shannon on the pitcher's mound at Kangleton Park. His best man was former teammate Willie McCovey, and Orlando Cepeda escorted Shannon to the mound. The couple had twin girls, but divorced in 96. He also had a son, Derek, and 2 other daughters. After retiring from baseball, Blue resided in California's Twain Harte area in the Sierra Nevada foothills for many years before moving to Tracy, California by 2007. Unfortunately, Blue died in a hospital in the East Bay on May 6, 2023, at the young age of 73. According to athletics team officials, Blue died as a result of medical complications from cancer. Now, member of the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame, and again, big results in his career. 209, 161, 327 earned run average, and 2,175 strikeouts. 6-time All-Star, 71, 75, 77, 78, 80, 81. 3-time World Series champion, 72, 74. AL MVP and Cy Young winner in 71, and ERA winner in 71 as well. No-hitter in 1970 and 75. San Francisco Giants Hall of Fame and Athletics Hall of Fame. So he's beautiful number 35 will always mean a lot to athletics fans. Again, a very, very dominant pitcher, a workhorse, and whatever was asked for him to do. But he was basically every fourth start in Oakland with the team he had. He was playing with the best players of all time, and the players he was playing later on, basically he couldn't even probably make in current double A. A bunch of no names until, again, Ricky showed up and Dwayne Murphy and a few others. But, he was the last soldier of a group of people that won the baseball wars in the American League. And 3 teams in the 1970s, the Yankees weren't as good as the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's weren't as good as Cincinnati. So a very close 1-2-3 when you're on the second biggest dynasty of the 1970s. And people, you think of the Oakland A's, the 3 people you think of right away: Rollie Fingers, Reggie, and Vida Blue. That was the pitcher, the reliever, and the hitter. That's the big 3. And Vida Blue, my God, a hero to many, but he was an enemy to himself. Like I said, the demons. He chased the demons, and the demons chased him. Sometimes they would catch him, and sometimes he could run away. But like I said, big part of my childhood. The second ever baseball park I ever bought with my own money. Again, I was 7 years old. The beautiful OPG pack, and seeing that in that pack, I had Vida Blue and Bob Gibson. Boys that I feel lucky. That's all I can say. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like our Oakland A's Vintage Podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And if you never heard of Vida Blue before this, where have you been all your life? You got to know your history. If you love baseball, You know, the best player from 53 years ago. There's a lot to learn about the players you're watching right now. If you can't be good as Vida Blue, you might as well not even try, because if you seek excellence like Vida Blue did, that's all the battle of baseball. Thanks for listening. Bye.